Hello and welcome to Sadhana World Foundation. Yet another new episode today. As you know, our mission has been to craft young lives by telling them stories on moral values, helping them strengthen their moral compass. We present you stories from our folktales and lessons in history so that you can use that content in your conversations with young people and help them make better human beings. In the past, we have talked about topics like working hard, discipline, politeness, kindness, and so on, different topics. Today we are going to talk about politeness. What is politeness? All of us understand politeness. It's being nice, it's being respectful, it's being considerate of the others, of the other person, as an individual or a group of people. When we have interacted with a person for a few times, we know whether the person is polite or not. All of us like polite people, isn't it? However, when it comes to our day-to-day conversations, interactions with others, sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, we become impolite. Today we will talk about why one should be polite and what is understood to being polite. There are also certain misconceptions around politeness. We will try to clear them today. We encounter situations every day in our lives where we are asked to behave or to respond in a certain way. Let me give you certain examples. When we are stuck at a traffic light, someone approaches us to buy something. How do we respond to that person? When you are busy in a meeting, you receive a call and you pick it up because you think that that's an important call, and it turns out to be a telecaller who's trying to sell you a credit card or a home loan or something of that kind. When you are working on a particular project, somebody approaches you and says that, hey, I want to take this information from you related to this project. Well, you have already finished this, why don't you share this project with me? In all these situations, answer is that you don't want the credit card, you don't want to buy the book or the pen that the salesperson is trying to sell you at the traffic light, and you don't want to share the work of the project that you have painstakingly done over the last many months or many weeks with that person. Answer to all these requests and favors is a clear no. However, the point is, how do you respond? How do you say no? That tells the other person as well as the world whether you are polite or not. You can decline a request, but can you decline the request in a manner which doesn't hurt the other person who has made the request? That's the test of politeness. Let me describe you a story from the epic Ramayana. As you all know, that Ramayana is an epic which is full of situations, stories, descriptions of various human qualities. And particularly about politeness, there are several examples. I will describe just one. It's the situation when Ram is supposed to take charge of Ayodhya, the kingdom. Dashrath is going to retire. He has announced that Ram will become the king. The whole kingdom is rejoicing. The royal family is very happy. However, the Queen Kaikeyi is not happy. And that's the time she remembers that she has a grant of 3 wishes from her husband, the King Dashrath, and asks for those wishes to be fulfilled at that point in time. And one of those wishes is that Ram will be sent to the forest for 14 long years and cannot become the king. So of course the whole world, that the king, the royal family, the kingdom, all the people, everybody is so sad. Because Ram was such a great person, loved by all. Imagine at that point in time how Ram responds to the situation. And juxtapose that to the situation, how people respond to an unsolicited sales call. Or you are stuck at a traffic light and the traffic light has just turned green and you are about to accelerate and cross the traffic signal, and somebody just comes in front of your vehicle and the person is still crossing the road. What do? We all know what most people do. Can we make this world a better world? You all know how Ram responded. Ram said, Kaikeyi, you are like my mother. You love me. With your love and affection I have grown. And I respect your wishes. I respect my father's wishes. My father has given you a word that your wishes will be granted. I accept them wholeheartedly. I have no negative thoughts and feelings in my heart. I will respectfully accept your wishes and go to the jungle. Imagine how great example that Ram has set for this humanity. That's possibly politeness of extremely high order. I'm just talking about being pragmatic and being polite. The situations I just described, we can become little more patient, little more considerate, little more respectful of the other person. We don't have to let the other person feel so worthless, so guilty, so undervalued. We don't have to do all of that. If we are polite, if we can politely say no, or if we can politely say thank you to somebody, if we can politely say please to someone, we can politely express our sorrow or sadness about a particular situation. That's great. If we are polite, what happens? Let's first talk about me, myself. If I am polite, what happens? First of all, I feel great about myself, that I have been kind to somebody, I was able to respect somebody, I was able to make someone happy. I could make this world a happier place. I did not buy into the other person's proposal. However, I did not make that other person feel bad. Secondly, do you believe in the concept of karma? If you do, you will know that you have done a good deed. The principle of karma says that all the results that we get are the consequences of the actions that we take. If you are polite to somebody, this karma is a good karma, and this good karma will result in some positive outcome at some point in time. That's the second benefit, if I may say so. And thirdly, it's the reputation that you build for yourself. You become known as a nice person, as a polite person. You respond politely, kindly. You are considerate of others. You are sensitive to the people around you. So when difficult situations come in the future, you are likely to be helped by others, to be listened to by others. So these are some of the reasons why we should be polite. Just thinking from my side, me, myself. And the second aspect of being polite is that, let's say you are talking about strangers. A stranger is trying to get a favor from you. If you are polite to a stranger, then the other person feels good. You make the other person feel good. And thirdly, What happens if you are polite? You make this world a better place. You never know that who you are going to interact in future with. What's the point of being rude? Many people say that you must be direct in your conversations. Sure, you must be direct, but you can choose your words carefully so that while you are direct, you are not being rude. You are being polite. So we make this world a better place. We make ourselves a better person. We create our bank balance in the bank of karma so that the outcome becomes better at some point in time. We make others feel good. This whole world can become a lot more welcoming, lot more pleasant, and this whole world can be a much better place to live in. And finally, there are some misgivings or misconceptions. People say that if you're polite, you would be considered as weak. That need not be. You don't have to really accept everybody's applications or requests or demands. You choose what you want to give and what you don't want to give. But that doesn't mean that you become weak because you are being polite. Let's not think that impoliteness is strength and politeness is subservience. It is not so. Being polite in my mind is your ability, is your strength, that you are able to make the other person feel all right and say what you want to say. And the final point that I would like to make is politeness is not fakeness. If we are trying to be extra polite, it comes across fake. People know that you don't mean what you say. All of us are intelligent people, all of us are human beings. We can figure out who's fake, who's genuine. Of course, you don't want to be a fake polite person. You need to be a genuinely polite person. I hope with this episode I have been able to explain why we need to be polite and what is genuinely being polite. I hope you like this episode. You use this content in your conversations with your young people around you. I look forward to seeing you and talking to you in the next episodes. Thank you very much.